Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain Show, only on Crypto TV Plus.
Are you there? It's your boy. No, sorry, it's your daddy, Mr. Macaroni. Keep watching Crypto TV Plus if you want to be doing well, especially. You get me now? Alright, you're doing well.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Inside Blockchain Live on Crypto TV Plus. My name is Faith Acquire. It's another Monday morning. If this is your first time on the show, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crypto TV Plus. Click on the bell icon to stay updated whenever we release a new video. In a system where no central authority is in charge of the financial activities day in, day out, has its strengths and shortcomings. Today, there are over 4,000 cryptocurrencies in the market with no intermediary to monitor these transactions. Full ownership and control over their crypto assets. The question remains, are there laws that govern the crypto ecosystem? If there are laws, why are external bodies clamoring to regulate internal developed projects? Why are there still crashes and frauds ravaging the ecosystem? Should a crypto trader pay tax to the government? It is imperative that we answer these questions to enlighten ourselves on the legal framework on how the crypto and blockchain ecosystem works. To help us understand better, we have a prominent lawyer joining us virtually to bring light to the impact of laws and regulations in the crypto ecosystem. Before we get onto that, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll get right into the conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. How to make money from NFTs. Take a picture, upload that picture on OpenSea, set a price, let's say 100 Ether, and now you wait. And then you wait. My NFT just got sold. Do you want to know everything about NFTs? Join the buzz at NFTNG.
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back, everyone, tuning in from around the world. This is Inside Blockchain Live on Crypto TV Plus. If this is your first time on the show, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crypto TV Plus. Click on the bell icon to stay updated whenever we release a new video. Today, we'll be discussing the impact of laws and regulation in the crypto ecosystem. Now, to join us in the conversation is a prominent lawyer in the crypto space. He is Kybarino Paul. Kybarino Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Now, to kickstart the conversation, let's start with the basics. As an experienced lawyer in this space, what are some of the existing laws in the crypto ecosystem that regulates trading, building, and developing?
Okay, so basically, there are existing laws. When you talk about law, you talk about jurisdictions. There are actually different jurisdictions with the laws, different countries taking steps to regulate the crypto space. Why some approaches it from the sense of creating new laws to govern the crypto space. Others are trying to apply existing law to the crypto space. There are a lot of areas which are quite relevant to regulating cryptocurrencies. One of such is security. The other is the financial industry. That's where we have central banks. Of course, in the security angle, we have the Security and Exchange Commission. And then we have the area of where cryptocurrency is treated as commodities. So where you need laws around commodity to govern it. And then when you talk about regulating activities on as per cryptocurrency, you might also have the issue of tax. Traders and people that earn incomes through cryptocurrencies can be made to pay tax. The crypto space is still very much developing. However, there are countries that have taking steps to see how they could regulate this space. Uh, in Nigeria, in particular, we have only the Security and Exchange Commission that has taken a bold steps by issuing the SEC rules on issuance, offering platforms, and custody of digital assets. We also have, from the aspect of the financial regulation, we have the CBN, who have issued a circular to banks and other financial institutions to disallow those dealing in cryptocurrencies from having access to financial services, to have access to services within the financial system. So I can actually speak very boldly about what's happening in Nigeria. And so far, those are the two existing, let's say, a parallel regulation from two different regulatory bodies. As per today, there is no National Assembly or legislative enactment on cryptocurrency or digital asset. But if you go to the United Arab Emirates, you go to Estonia, and there's some other countries, there has also actually been efforts to specifically regulate cryptocurrency, even in Malta as well.
Now let's bring it internally. The smart contracts is one of the unique features of the blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. Now, what are some of the complexities that exist with smart contracts, especially when it comes to the legal framework of the crypto ecosystem?
Okay, when it comes to smart contract is actually an automated contract. Uh, it's based on condition. It relies on conditions to act, where the machine is programmed to act premised on meeting on certain conditions. And many have actually argued that the smart contract shouldn't be interfered with, since it's automatic and it does exactly what it is told. It can't go contrary to what it's told. Of course, I agree to a large extent, because where party A and party B agrees to say, okay, if you do if you do this, I'm going to do this, and then party A does what he's supposed to do, but party B resigns from doing what he or she is supposed to do. It brings about a whole lot of issue of contract issues and all of that. But what smart contract has done is to ensure that that particular aspect of contract is adequately taken care of without a resort to a third party, or without resort to litigation, the court, and what have you. However, we must all agree that, like every other computer system or every other software, there is likely to be a software failure in terms of the smart contract. And no matter how, like for instance, there are smart contracts that use oracles. Oracles are like relying on indices that is outside of the blockchain or outside of the immediate environment of the smart contract, relying on such conditions to make a decision. How about the smart contract? If gets a wrong information, let's say from the oracle failure or whatsoever, and then acts. Let's say, for instance, an employer relies on a smart contract to pay the salaries of employee, and the agreement is, once it is the 31st day of the month, amount of a crypto asset should be released from the employer's wallet into the employee's wallet. And then, with along the line, there is a kind of termination of the contract of the employee before the 31st of the month. But because the contract has been automated and has been set in motion, it gets to the 31st day of the month, and then the smart contract releases the fund from the employer's wallet into the employee's wallet, which the employee doesn't deserve. It actually raises the issue of perfection. So while the smart contract is actually very smart, it is not perfect, and so we can't. For me, I don't think why are we agree that the smart contract has relatively solved the problem of issues around breach of contracts and what have you. I still feel you cannot separate the law from smart contract. The law should all, because we're in a society, and just like Thomas Hobbes said, if we are in a state of nature where everyone is free to do whatever they like without any form of regulation, life will be brutish, nasty, and short. And there'll be no way of like directing things, and that's why we have a society which have law that governs human behavior. And we can't just say do away with the legal system, let's just deal with smart contract. No. And like I said, in I think the last time I appeared on the show, like I said the last time, smart contracts, while they are very smart, actually have like, sorry, what I meant to say is contracts. There are different kind of contract actually. We have the sale of good contract. We have a different kind of contract, international, like sales of goods. We have a employment contract. This type. Even if we know that we deal with there is what we call the freedom of contract, the doctrine of a laissez-faire that allows parties to contract. There are also special kind of contracts where certain rules have to be made to apply, both laws and trade practices in those industries. And so, does this smart contract actually recognizes these rules that are supposed to govern this type of contract? Smart, these things actually govern relationship between persons or between entities, and then it has to go according to the laws governing those kind of relationship.
I need to ask this question. We're going to still be talking more on this conversation about laws and regulations. Now, the US government seems to be more lenient and friendly to crypto exchanges and the crypto market in general. Now, this is in contrast to the situation in Nigeria. Why do you think this is happening? And do you think this is part of the reason why the adoption process in Nigeria has not been as fast as it's supposed to be?
Well, the issue as to whether the US government is more lenient than that of Nigeria is actually in question. And why it's in question is we are going to take two basic comparison. So far in the US, there have been two set of action. Let me just compare the two set of actions. There have been action on the side of the Federal Reserve Bank, and there has been also action on the part of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The same thing is applicable to what's happening in Nigeria. I wouldn't say anything about the U.S. Commodity Board first, but why I'm actually going this way is to make this basic comparison. Now, in the U.S., the Federal Reserve Bank actually does not restrict the use of a cryptocurrency within the financial or the banking system. Only what it does is to warn commercial banks on the risks associated with aligned cryptocurrencies or keeping their assets in crypto format, the risks associated with it. However, in Nigeria, what we have is the CBN completely banning the use of cryptocurrency, not just the use of cryptocurrency. They didn't just ban banks from holding cryptocurrencies, but they've also stopped banks from allowing any form of transaction to cryptocurrency service providers. Anyone involved in cryptocurrency, whether trading, as far as like in the description or in any way that entity deals in cryptocurrency, the person is not allowed to deal in to have a bank account within the Nigerian financial system. Now we now go to the SEC. In Nigeria, the Security and Exchange Commission have made several efforts to actually define and regulate the securities aspect of cryptocurrencies. And I must applaud the Security and Exchange Commission. They've been doing a very great job. They've been approaching cryptocurrency from the side of cryptocurrency. However, in the US, we have where the SEC is going after all cryptocurrency kind of businesses, classifying all of them as securities. And then these are actually raised a lot of uproar. If you've been following activities that have been going on, the development that has been going on in the US, you see that there have been a lot of altercation between the Security and Exchange Commission and crypto service providers, because the Securities and Exchange Commission in the US under Gary Gensler has classified all cryptocurrency related activities as securities activities, discarding the hallway test that defines what a security should be. And that has actually caused a lot of uproar. And players within the crypto industry are asking the Securities and Exchange Commission in the US to properly define what they mean by security when it relates to the crypto world. And then the SEC is yet to do that. And that has made like the environment, like the business environment for cryptocurrency in the US become a lot more uncertain. Of course, why we agree with you to an extent that that of Nigeria is more rigid is because the CBN action actually to an extent places a bar on businesses. Because how can a business operate without owning a bank account? You know, for a business to operate, even if they deal in cryptocurrency, they have to own a bank account. And when you stop these businesses from owning bank accounts, they have no option than to run away, which is very harsh. But we can't say that US, this thing, when you compare the both side of it, you know, the both institution, the relevant institution, we can't really say that the US is better than Nigeria per se. We can't really say that, because when it comes to, even if a SEC hasn't started implementing its rules on a digital asset issuance and offering platform and custody in Nigeria, it seems like they've not really started enforcing that particular rule. But the rule actually gives a clear definition, unlike what is happening in the US. The only area where Nigeria is worse when compared to the US is that of the both central banks, the both apex banks, which is the Nigerian central banks that completely stop everything crypto, which it has a more far-reaching effect, because businesses cannot effectively deal without owning bank accounts. But to be fair, I think US as at today in terms of regulation is not really better than Nigeria.
So far, we have touched on the external and internal laws that regulate the activities in the crypto ecosystem, and we've also talked about how lenient or how rigid the crypto laws and regulation is in Nigeria. We're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue in the conversation. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome into the metaverse on Crypto TV Plus. In today's video, we're going to be taking a portal into the Wolves of Rome metaverse. Here's a hint: put your poker face on and follow me. Wolves of Rome is a traditional trading card game all about legendary commanders, big players, and tons of competitive battles. It is magical. The Gathering-inspired universe with a twist of ancient history where anyone can earn tokens through...
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that dial. Peace.
Welcome back, everyone tuning in from around the world. This is Inside Blockchain. I am Faith Aquari. If you're just watching us for the first time on the show, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Crypto TV Plus. Click on the bell icon to stay updated whenever I release a new video. Now, we still have Kibarino and Paul in the studio, joining us actually, and we have been talking about, the laws and regulations, the impact of these laws and regulations in the crypto ecosystem. Now, Mr. Paul, seeing as the crypto market is backed by, no centralized regulatory body, what are some of the few legal complications that arises from time to time when it comes to, the decentralized and anonymous nature of cryptocurrencies?
Okay, decentralization is great. It's actually commendable. It takes care of a whole lot of things. It takes care of the issue of censorship. It also takes care of the question of cost. Though we've had some blockchain that are even transaction costs are even more expensive now than what's in the centralized system. And then all of that are actually great. Anonymity, um, public ledger, everyone knows what's happening, how how the financial system is moving. Everyone is following how assets are moving. Assets can be like ownership of assets can be effectively validated. It takes care of a whole lot of things. It's a trustless system that actually builds trust, and all these are great. However, there are also the other side of it, and one of the other side of it is um, we are in a world where there are bad actors, and bad actors we always take advantage of loopholes within systems. Now, those that are using the anonymous nature of the blockchain could be criminals who are moving illicit funds or who are financing terrorist acts of terrorism or proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. And this once these people are untraceable, they will have the boldness to continue to do these things. You understand? And then in terms of the decentralization, of course, the decentralization is beautiful, but let's look at it. Um, is the blockchain truly decentralized? Of course, the blockchain is decentralized. The Bitcoin blockchain, particularly, is decentralized. No one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. No one knows if it's a person or group of persons. No one knows who make decision on the Bitcoin blockchain. Nodes make decision, and no one knows these nodes. However, most of the blockchains we have today, we have identifiable founders. We have we have people that determine what happens on the blockchain. If someone can come and tell you that on this blockchain we are moving from proof of stake to proof of work, and then tell you how the proof of stake will work, tell you how what will happen from the blockchain henceforth, it means that there is someone that is able to determine what happens on the blockchain. And if there is someone that is able to determine what happens on the blockchain, then there is a central authority. And if there is a central authority, can we really say that that is decentralized? The question of decentralization, is it truly decentralized if there is a group of persons or a particular person that can actually decide what happens on a blockchain? We really need to look at critically at the question of decentralized. The blockchain has the ability to be decentralized, and we also know that the blockchain can be used for centralized purposes. So if someone can tell you that this is what will happen on the blockchain and that particular thing happens, it means that that person have control over what is happening on the blockchain. And if that person have control over what is happening on the blockchain, or group of persons have control over what is happening on the blockchain, and they are identifiable, can we actually agree that it's decentralized? For instance, we have the UBA in Nigeria. UBA has so many branches in Nigeria, and UBA can decide what's going to happen within the UBA system. And they will announce on their website, this is what is going to happen. And at a given time, it's going to happen. And then we also have a blockchain that claim to be decentralized per se. And then they tell you so thing is going to happen on the blockchain, and the same thing happens. What differentiates these blockchains from centralized institutions like the UBA? These are critical questions we need to ask. And if bad actors are taking advantage of this centralized system per se to under the guise of blockchain to perpetrate crime, it is important that the law is made to apply to prevent this crime. Freedom is beautiful. It is great to have all the freedom in this world, not to be censored and all of that. But if we are not censored, if we don't permit a level of censor, it means that anyone can do whatever they want. It means that you can be walking on the road and anyone just pull out a gun and shoot you and then go away, and no one is holding the person to account. It will be a lawless society. It will be the survival of the fittest. And that's why we see the rise of so many Ponzi within the crypto space under the guise of decentralization, under the guise of lack of regulation. So many projects, individuals came up claiming how their system is rewarding. And because there's no consumer protection, there's no investor protection, they go their rock pool, move out with the funds, and become untraceable under the guise of decentralization and anonymity. So, why we are trying to, as much as possible, to one, make transaction easy and seamless. Two, reduce the rate of censorship. We shouldn't do it to the extent where the system is completely lawless. And that's why we must try to marry regulation as much as possible with the blockchain. We shouldn't, regulation is not coming as a bad actor. People it will build more confidence in people. It will increase the level of adoption. Like the US president said in his executive order, giving directive on the approach to regulating the crypto space, it says while you are encouraging the technology and innovation, you also try to prevent the bad actors from taking advantage of the system. And that's the aspect where regulators and industry players have to form a synergy that will enable them build a working regulatory system that won't, one, defeat the core purpose of the blockchain, and two, will not also allow bad actors to take advantage of the system to perpetrate crime and all sort of evil. So for me, I feel my opinion has always been that regulation and innovation should marry. In that way, the society can be made better and also be properly safeguarded. Thank you.
Conversation is getting, is getting more hotter. Taking a pick from the microstory case, the CEO of Titanium Blockchain, who pleaded guilty in a 21 million US dollars cryptocurrency fraud scheme. Now, one of the offenses he was arrested for was not paying tax. Do you think the obligation of paying taxes on, non-digital assets should also apply to cryptocurrencies?
Okay, so taxes are levied mostly on incomes, and there are other forms of taxes too, or levies, or taxes anyway. And of course, the a tax that is applicable to non-digital assets can be made applicable to incomes on digital assets. For instance, jurisdictions where um, crypto assets are classified as commodities and goods, when you should people who make a gain in transacting cryptocurrencies as goods or commodity should be made to pay the capital gain tax. And people who also earn incomes, like let's say a company that is running a crypto business, you either as an exchange or as a wallet, the different kind of services that can be operated on the blockchain and crypto asset. As far as you're making income, you should be made to pay corporate tax and other forms of taxes. These taxes can be made applicable. The system can also be studied, if there are unique way with which like to apply tax to the crypto asset transaction or crypto asset holding. However, what determines the kind of tax that should be paid on crypto assets or the transaction is how crypto assets are classified in that jurisdiction. If it is jurisdiction where they are classified as properties, then the applicable tax will be made to apply. If it is jurisdiction where they are counted as money, then the applicable tax should also apply. So I think the existing regime of tax can be made to apply to the crypto asset and crypto asset transaction, uh, depending on how the jurisdiction classify or treats crypto assets.
Before we wrap up today's episode, how do you think we can regulate the activities of crypto exchanges, the crypto market, and the blockchain ecosystem legally? You've talked about, regulation. You've talked about regulation. But if you want to move it, to the legal framework, how can we regulate these activities?
When you talk about regulation of the crypto industry, we have to come together, both regulators and innovators, and decide on how best to regulate the crypto asset industry. Like the president of the United States of America said, while trying to uh, 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 allow innovation. We shouldn't allow innovation to the extent where bad actors will take over the innovation to to defraud people or to commit all forms of crime. And in also trying to stop the criminals from taking advantage of the innovation, we shouldn't destroy the core purpose of the innovation. And that's why regulators shouldn't see uh, innovators as some sort of antagony, like how will I say it, like a group of persons trying to militate against their control of a crime and crime within the criminal scene and all of that. And at the same time, innovators shouldn't see um, regulators as some sort of evil mechanism trying to stop them from moving forward or from changing the world. These two actors can actually work together to create something perfect. We've had people defrauded in the cryptocurrency space, and it hasn't been really funny, like the Michael Stollery case you talk about. This man did a whole issued on the titanium and blockchain. He issued a asset and gave a whole lot of promises that were false, promises that were not real. He committed a whole lot of security fraud. When it comes to investor protection, there's supposed to be full disclosure of including the weakness of the system. Investors should be aware of what they are investing in. Is this system likely to have a particular point of failure? You should tell the investor. You should be able to inform the investor that look, there's no guarantee that this thing will work. The cryptocurrency is volatile, and at any time you can be wrecked. There's a high chance that you are going to lose your investment. But instead of telling these people this, you start promising them 100 times 1,000, 1 million return percent returns and all of that. And then these persons, based on that false euphoric promises, they go ahead to invest their hard-earned money. And then at the end of the day, the system might fail. And when the system fails, these people lose their hard-earned money. You understand? And this is actually something that has made the cryptocurrency space a bit scary for investors. It has made it a whole lot scary for potential investors. And if not properly checked, it's at the end of the day, the whole euphoria will die. And when the euphoria dies, like every great brand, the cryptocurrency space might also be, even if it doesn't completely die off, it might be so adversely affected. People might, the blockchain will never go away, cryptocurrency will never go away, but how much of investors' interest, how much of tempo can the space keep will depend on the level of trust that investors can have in it. And that level of trust can only be built if there is regulation to an extent. If the investors are sure that they will be protected within the system. And that's where regulation has to come in. At the same time, we shouldn't take regulation to the extent that we destroy the innovation. In other words, regulation and the crypto asset industry can actually work very well together, getting rid of the bad actors, like the proposals that the Financial Action Task Force has been doing at the international scene about regulating the financial system against money launderers, terrorist financiers, and proliferation financiers. These are efforts that are being put in place to ensure that the risks within the systems are properly addressed while the system is still left to operate. So regulators and innovators can come together and build a synergy that will keep this great industry and this great system going and growing. So I will advise that, especially within Nigeria, I think there's a NITDA conference coming up on the uh, uh, 28th of this month, right? 28th or 26th of this month on a blockchain, on blockchain technology. The topic is around blockchain technology. These are things we have to commend in Nigeria. And we also want to call on the CBN to reconsider, because we are losing a lot. We have a whole lot of businesses. As a lawyer, I deal with businesses, startups that want to establish a cryptocurrency businesses. And these people are going out to jurisdiction like the United Arab Emirates, like Estonia. They are looking for a friendly jurisdiction where they can establish their business. This is capital flight. We are losing money that we are supposed to get. CBN should reconsider its stance on crypto assets. While trying to fight the risks, you shouldn't kill the innovation. This is the direction the world is facing at the moment. We shouldn't be left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Q. Barino Paul. We had such an amazing time having you, talking about the laws and regulations and the impact of these laws in the crypto ecosystem. We hope to have you another time, talk more about some other topics that, resonate around crypto and the blockchain technologies. It was great having you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Faith.
Amazing.